Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of Speed Gaming, and welcome to another round in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Tonight, I am joined by my co-commentator, Hyro Fellows, who had a phenomenal race very recently. How are you this evening, Hyro?
Good evening, Czar. Looking real forward to this race between Caleb and Wote. Wote, longtime member of the community, and Caleb put on a heck of a show last week with a 14-second difference separating him from a win over Will Cleosis. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Caleb has in store for us tonight.
I am as well. We've seen good seeds, we've seen bad seeds, we've seen average times that vary anywhere between 120 to 220. Who knows what we'll see tonight, but we do have some party divergence here. I see a thief. Thoughts on that, Hyro?
Wote seems to favor a thief for the early game run chance, especially with Marsh Cave incentivized. We also have a white mage, and each of them has a very specific name because Caleb's podcast this week, Wote was a special guest, and they each forced the other to take a white mage and named their opponent's white mage. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the spy on each team does for the week.
Indeed, I am as well. We have a countdown in the SRL chat, and we're going to be getting underway very shortly here. We have a question in the chat from Pallid Mask Priest. What does incentivized mean? Incentivized means that you're guaranteed a progression or certain special pool of items at a certain location. For example, in Castle Ordeals, the chest where you find the tail is what's known as an incentive chest. And depending on your flags, you can find any amount of progression from there, or perhaps a ribbon. It all depends on the options you can find in the randomizer. And we have some spells coming up. We have Fast, Temper, Zap, and Fire. We have Exfer, Exit, INV2. We have a plethora of spells here available early.
My goodness, Exit, Invis 2, and Life 2 all at level 1. The level 1 magic is strong in this seed, Czar.
It certainly is, wow. You couldn't really ask for much better here. I think both runners will probably be racing aggressively from this point forward.
Yeah, that gives them a lot of options there with that spell list at level 1. They know they'll have charges of it, and they know they can make use of it through the seed.
It's like we have some rudimentary equipment for fighters. Iron armor, not bad for the fighter early. Also, silver bracelets available for 4,800, a bit pricey.
And we have cheap camping equipment. We have tents very cheaply in the item shop here, so that is not going to be a problem. We're not going to have that seed where there are no save items around. We're going to be perfectly ready to go straight to Garland and try to get him knocked down.
Yeah, everything very low price there, except the houses a little higher than average. And we see some imps going down to Zap. We're going to go for them girly levels here.
Oh, and Caleb with some good luck there. 5 for 5 on the Zap spell right off the bat. That'll be helpful.
So this is a phenomenal set of magic to have for merely 2 minutes into a seed as we are heading to Temple.
For later on, having Fast and Temper at the same level might cause our runners a problem if they don't keep track of their magic charges. But other than that, yeah, this is a phenomenal way to start for these runners.
Both runners electing to pass on the chest for now and head straight for Garland. They want to get to those items, find out what they're going to deal with, and perhaps come back to dig here later.
Oh, and Wote with a very early success of Zap. Caleb still having to take another shot with it. We have the bottle on the king, and the princess gives us the ruby. So no real progression yet. We're looking for that ship or that canoe, and of course that ever-elusive floater to get us off the ground in this seed.
So options beginning to open up now. We have a hungry titan out there that might end up being fed today. So Caleb has elected to dig these chests. And he's going to be rewarded with a white shirt.
Wow, that's a great find for later. Here goes Wote. Looks like he's going to head towards the Vanilla Provoca and see if he can find Gaia to turn that bottle into a tiny fairy.
Caleb being driven a bit batty here. A question about Wote skipping the white shirt? He did, yes. So we'll see how this plays out. I think Wote will check those chests before too much longer. Coming into Matoya's cave now, we have a pretty good amount of gold in here. Definitely worth getting out and saving.
Ooh, but he didn't get the chance to. He got ambushed by a bunch of Great Wolves.
Take note, runners. As soon as you come out of that cave you're in, I know it's tempting to move a square and put up your tent so you can save another step coming back in, but you're taking a risk.
I am really liking this execution by Caleb Czar. He's making sure that he runs with the first 3 party members, but he's taking his shots with that Black Mage, trying to gain some extra XP there. I really like that.
Yeah, I think this is a sign of maturity in running this game for him. He had a monumental race in the first round with Will Cleosis, and he learned so much about this randomizer. I expect him to be much more polished in this run.
Yeah, he said he had a lot of nerves, and his early game he felt was really bad because of it. So we're seeing a little more calmness, a little more preparedness, I think, from him this week, now that he knows what to expect a little bit from the game.
Yeah, he learned about a week's worth of FFR in that one race.
All right, and Wote gets to Vanilla Provoca, and it has turned into On-Rack. So our shuffled towns have started us off with a very high-level city there. Wote resets out and turns right back around. Looks like he doesn't want anything to do with On-Rack at this point.
Yeah, there's magic there. You could get a look at it now, but it's so early in the run currently. It won't take long when you get back there. Might have a spell charge or two at level 7. Onrak, definitely not the town that I think these runners were hoping for there.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So we have not seen an incentive item yet. Before we find out, what do you think, chat? What's going to be our incentive item today? And how much is it going to be? Is it going to be the Adamant for 30k?
When Caleb set his reset point almost back at Corneria and gets turned around really quickly and actually takes the lead, headed for Dwarf Cave.
Yeah, he saved right after that bridge scene too. So clearly he's been doing his homework.
Absolutely. Wote looks like he's doing a full stock up because he may think he's going to have to do that dreaded early Marsh Cave dive. So he's really getting some heals, some pure potions, a few softs. He's just covering the gambit before he leaves Corneria.
Pro Cave and about 7k gold found in the early dwarf chests. Welcome finds.
And he protects that Black Mage right away with that Pro Cape. Wants the armor to keep that Black Mage alive with the instant death spells that he's got there.
Caleb utilizing that zap spell. Something that in his first race he may not have realized how good of a spell zap can be early.
Little unlucky there and didn't get the Ogre, and I think he's now out of zap charges, so he's going to have to make it to a town to get his spell charges back.
I find zap to be extremely effective against enemies like golems that have elemental resistance.
And looks like Caleb is decisively heading for Elfland here, trying to find out another town location with randomized towns turned on for our Swiss seeds here.
Pretty linear routing thus far. Not much to be found in on-rack, so both orders will be steered toward possibly Marsh Cave.
And it looks like we're guaranteed Marsh Cave because Elfland has turned into Melmond. And that is not going to garner us any progression this early on.
Ruse and Cure 3. Looks like we had Rub there and Quake available.
Now, Czar, is Caleb going to have to turn himself all the way around and get back to Corneria where he burned through all of his early spell charges? This could be difficult for him. Ah, there's the play. He remembered he had Melmond. I thought he was going to try to run back there, but he went in and got the inn stay.
Yeah, Melmond still has a functioning inn. The vampire has not taken that out yet, only the clinic. And the item shop.
And Wote going ahead and checking the weapon shop, and we see the cat claw and not much else.
All signs are pointing to Marsh at this point. I do think it's going to be easier for Wote to get around in there and explore with his thief, as Chad is noting currently.
Yes, one of the things that the thief is very good at, running away.
We love you, chat. We love all of our viewers, and you're all useful to us in many ways. So thank you for coming out and enjoying your evening with Speed Gaming and our races tonight. We also have 3 more races going on across the board on Speed Gaming Networks, so be sure to check those out as well. I believe we have the next one starting in about 14 minutes.
Yes, we have Hangry, Canuck, and Lord of the Synth coming up. After that, we're going to have Tyrannex and Braxis Muse, and our closer for the evening, Falconic versus Crab Cakes. That one should be a phenomenal race.
The last night was phenomenal for races, and I wondered how it could get any better. We're going to find out tonight.
Ooh, Wote in Melmond, finding our Zozo Melmond flag there, gets in a fight with the pirates and zaps them into oblivion.
Over on Caleb's side, we have information coming in. Bones are using Cure 4. It looked like the Black Mage went down to an instant death spell. Something also had Poison Touch.
Caleb looks like he's going to try to finish the dive into this top floor and see if there's anything worthwhile. There is a Mage Staff, and Bones have Squint in addition to Cure 4.
Yeah, that's a huge find. With a level 1 exit available, might consider getting out now.
Ooh.
Gotta be careful balancing life 2 and exit charges here.
Yep. But he does have that Mage Staff, so he may try to get the last 2 chests up here before he leaves, so he knows the top floor is cleared.
Yeah, this is the right play. You gotta go for it, and he does.
There it is.
Well done, Caleb.
His only problem here is that he's out of...
I'll charge if I had to. You can manipulate the overworld encounter.
Yeah, especially with that Mage Staff find, because that's going to make the fighters significantly more helpful in this early game.
I'm getting a bit of lag on the commentary stream. Please let us know, chat, if there are any issues. Okay, we're back. Thank you, SVJ. And now Wote is going to make his move into Marsh Cave here.
Now, we're going to see how much Caleb has practiced this, because he has that Black Mage dead, and is he going to remember to go back for that extra spell charge after he uses it here? And he is. Very nice.
So something else to think about here is, with Zap available and Wizards guarding this chest, we have a white shirt for Caleb and an Invis 2 spell should he decide to spread out his equipment a little bit. I think that favors him a bit more in the Wizard fight versus Wote currently, who does not have that white shirt. Also a heal helmet in the top floor of Marsh. So Marsh absolutely loaded, and ghouls have rub. Oh no. This is a dangerous Marsh Cave.
Yeah, the bones and the ghouls are both very dangerous.
So despite a generous start, our first major speed bump is becoming manifest here in Marsh Cave.
Shadows, however, don't look too dangerous, so it may just be the ghouls and the bones. So hopefully we can get through without those encounters and get ourselves right on our way here.
So Wote now discovering that this upper floor of Marsh is absolutely loaded. He'll probably exit out of here. No, he resets.
Wow, that surprises me. With that mage staff and that heal helmet, I'm very surprised he did not take the exit chance out of there. Caleb now getting the information about the rub ghouls.
Wote managing to avoid any bat blocks here,
Wote,
at least thus far.
Wote may be hoping that the Life 2 charges get him down to his incentive item and get him out, and then he figures he can come back for that mage staff. I can't think of any other reason why he wouldn't take the mage staff right there.
Yeah, it was a definitely surprising move. We'll see what he's thinking here. As runners are pretty much synced up at this point. There's a house. That's a nice find. And Wote heading straight into the wizards. He gets two of them, fortunately. And they are runnable, so our score is a canoe.
Right.
So that's going to open up a lot now.
Looks like the creeps also have sleep touch in this seed, so if Marsh couldn't get any worse, we just found a way to make it worse.
Indeed, without that exit spell, this marsh would be a nightmare.
Yes, it would.
Very fortunate to have that available at this point.
And Caleb has made it out. Goes in. Looks like he's going to instantly save here and head on his way. Very nice by Caleb.
Yeah, he's moving along very quickly here. He has what I would say is a lead at this point.
Well, looks like there's a little rust there for getting the linked chests in Marsh Cave and checking the empties. Oh, nice move partway back to Melmond, saving to make sure he saved his progress up through there.
So with canoe and no ship available, the next place I think in these runners' minds has to be Volcano Armory or Ice Cave Incentive Chest.
I would actually guess that they'll check Crescent Lake first, just to see what the town is. If we find somewhere like Provoca, it could be further progression before we have to risk a dive into a dungeon.
Yeah, that's correct. Definitely got to get over there to the town.
Caleb's still not curing the poison on these fighters. I'm a little concerned for their long-term health at this point.
Well, he is in the canoe, and when you're in the canoe, you can actually avoid damage with any poisoned character. This also applies to the ship. One of his fighters goes down, in a little bit of danger here now.
Ooh, there goes the black mage too. Oh
Ooh, he takes the
no.
wipe. Not too costly, but costly nonetheless, as Wote, we're pretty much going to be synced up again here.
Caleb learning from that quickly and making use of those cheap tents to get him a little more safety on his way through here. Looks like he got a strike first, too. That is very nice luck there. Oh, and then they strike first. That's going to be difficult.
And yeah, best case scenario showing up here for the runners. We have Provoca at on-rack.
We'll have to see what that yields us. If this is a floater, this seed is going to get blown wide open at the 15-minute mark here.
I'm going to refresh my restream, as we may be a bit behind.
Ah, the ship.
Is this even randomized?
Yeah, I'm questioning it at this point. Ooh, we have 19,000 gold bracelets there. That's pretty pricey for this early in the seed. Maybe we'll see somebody make a volcano armory dive to get the money for a few of those.
Heal 3, also a very lucrative spell in the white magic shop of level 2.
And our second life. So we have life 2 and life at level 1 and 2. So as long as that white mage survives, and then later if we find the tail, our fighter, we're going to be able to keep everybody alive.
And it's a sailing we will go. With the ship and canoe available now, options are just about everywhere.
Yeah, that really opens up a lot of places. That opens up the vanilla on-rack, the vanilla waterfall, the ordeals. We've got lots of options now. We also have to remember, with the ship, we can get through Titan and go check what Sarda gives us. We could have a floater hidden over there that if our runners aren't paying attention, they could miss.
That's correct. Routing is going to be paramount at this point. Knowing, you know, how to get to your towns quickly, how to check the quickest number of locations quickly. Very interested to see how this unfolds from this point.
Wote there making great use of the river tiles coming on and off of the river to avoid advancing the encounter table. That is phenomenal use of the canoe right there.
And he's going to find an item here at Crescent, which is shuffled to Melmond. Pro Ring available for 5,700 roundabouts in the armor shop of Crescent.
That is a really good price for the pro rings. That's going to help armor up our people very quickly. Pretty bland level 6 white magic, but we do find wall fairly cheap for only 4,000. Our black magic is ice 3 and quad X, so level 6 has some pretty good spells there.
Stop as well. I like wall. I think wall is an underrated spell for those seeds where you cannot find any ribbons. Wall is really good.
In this particular flag set, and with this particular spell list this seed, I'm not as big a fan just because of how many charges of life we're going to have. If we protect the knight and the white mage, we'll pretty much be able to get everybody up all the time.
And we discover the sages. Wandering confused old men have an adamant.
And Wote is turning around and immediately headed to turn that adamant in. We're going to have a very strong floater. The floater is really heavy today. I don't know how it's going to raise the airship out of the sand.
The magic of anti-gravity.
Oh, that one Sage is just giving Caleb all kinds of trouble, playing Ring Around the Rosie with it.
Yeah, these sages, they can be a rascally bunch sometimes, as he does find it, and he does pick up his adamant now. So, around the 25-minute mark here, and I think both runners will be taking to the sky, which is, going to increase the demand for this type of routing. Chest density comes into play now.
And that Ruby is confirmed to not have much value this seed unless a loose item happens to be buried in those 4 chests in Titan's Tunnel, because that floater will give us access to Sarda.
Caleb now picking up his floater. I'm sure he's got to feel really good about that compared to his last race.
Ah!
The floater came very late.
We have the Hooray Dwarf play. We have seen it.
Hooray, everyone. We can all rejoice now that we are taking to the sky. And despite being heavy, that floater is going to pull that airship right out. And it looks like Wote is going to Gaia immediately.
I would guess he's looking for Elfland, hoping for more spells. But it's Vanilla Gaia, so we can find the tiny fairy.
640, wow. That's quite an in there.
Not much in the armor shop. We've already seen the gold bracelets and the pro ring, so there's not a whole lot left to really hunt for in the armor shops. But there is our herb. Gaia holds our vendor item.
They're selling herb and Gaia. Who would have thought it? It's like, well, it's going to pass on that for now.
I would guess with that airship, we'll see a quick Volcano Armory dive to find a little cash, and I would guess he comes right back for that. Because one of the flags here is that at 12 total key items, we get an experience boost. So we are really hunting those key items to let us get our levels much quicker. Caleb making the opposite play. He's headed for Sarda and not Gaia.
Farron confirming the hippie town of Gaia as the fairy offered up a crystal.
Sarda is holding on to some tail. Oh, and Caleb is going to make an interesting play here. He is going to check the 4 chests in Titan's Tunnel.
And thus our Titan is fed, and the people rejoiced. And Wote's going to translate his Slav. He's going to expand his knowledge of phonics.
Double pro ring in Titan's Tunnel.
Opal bracelet as well. That can sell. Titan with some pretty good stash tonight.
Double pro ring will save Caleb a lot of money if he hadn't bought them all up yet. That is some good stuff right there.
Looks like Wote's going to stock up on some items at this point. Good idea to pick up some softs at this point, I think, as well.
And I really like that play from Caleb. His routing is very nice here. He checks Sarda and goes straight south to wrap the map, gets to check the bazaar in case that's the vendor item, and goes straight into Cardia with the tail. This is great routing by Caleb.
It may not seem like much, as, we kind of watch it live, but when you look at the results, you save so much time, and look at this. There is a loose loot in the Cardia Islands. So I will definitely take that chest for a loose chest item, as opposed to something like Reverse C or Keylogged Marsh.
Oh, absolutely. And there's an ice sword, which is going to make his fighters much more efficient. Oh my goodness, what happened to Wote? He had to go clear back and get the crystal again and go back to Matoya to pick up that slab a second time. He reset himself out a long ways here.
That's going to be a costly time, and Caleb will now be going to promote. It looks like everything is lining up Caleb at this point in the run, and Wote's going to head on over to Ordeals at this point.
Ordeals without a warp spell. This is kind of rough here. The randomized Ordeals pillars can make this a very difficult trip through if you do not get the travel correct.
We haven't seen much of the enemies that appear in Ordeals either, so we'll see what shows up. Caleb adjusting his armor at this point. He's making the right decisions, knowing to equip the white shirt, and you'll get those extra resistances from that. So despite Caleb's levels being a bit low, his equipment is pretty phenomenal for this point. We've got a Zombol sighting, goes down easily. Zombols are very good enemies to take down for experience and gold. Question chat about Ice Sword. Yes, Ice Sword is one of the better swords in the game. It's probably the lowest tier item you could feasibly go into Temple of Fiends Revisited with maybe a fast or a temper. Anything with lesser damage and hit than the Ice Sword is probably not going to get it done. I think Ice Sword is considered like that kind of lowest threshold for endgame swords.
Oh, Caleb going back to get life 2 on those, or Invis 2, I'm sorry, on those knights. That's going to help him out a lot later on.
Life 2 available as well. These knights are going to be overpowered.
Oh, he realized he forgot life 2 on one of the knights, and he's going back for it now.
Better move. If you don't know, if you're questioning yourself, check. It only takes a second. And Wote has found a ribbon in one of the linked chests of Ordeals. That's actually kind of an uncommon check there in that room. I think he wanted to get a look at the golems and find out if they might be grindable. And the reason for that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Caleb is going around just stocking up those knights. He goes and grabs the heal 3, too. I don't know if he realizes, but the knights do not start gaining spell charges until they hit level 15, so he's going to be a while before he can make use of those.
Yeah, I think he's going to be doing a grind at some point. Probably, most likely we'll be doing an endgame grind. With the equipment he has, he should be able to pull it off. And as I was going to mention earlier, the linked chest, what that means is it's actually linked to another chest that is in Ordeals on the top floor. So technically you don't have to check that chest on the second floor. You can get everything by going to the top floor. There are also linked chests like that in Marsh Cave and Volcano.
Question from chat. Have we seen Elfland? No, we have not. Elfland is most likely, based on what we've seen, going to be at Onrak or the original Lefane. We are also still missing Lefane, so we could have a vanilla Lefane. Yeah,
process of elimination narrows it down to those two towns, which we have not seen yet. As Wote is going back into Ordeals. Did he end up wiping there?
Well, that is a possibility. If he got turned around and took some damage before he got to the end, he could have had a problem, or he knows that that ribbon is in the link chest and he knows that he shouldn't go there so he can get out and be safe.
Yeah, that's correct. Or he might just have taken the wrong teleporter and said, the Wote sword has been found. Caleb is now going to pick up the slab. He will probably translate that immediately. Sun sword acceptable for endgame, as the chat is noting. Definitely the best fighter sword you can pick up, aside from the Massmute.
I think Caleb may have gotten confused there. It looked like he thought he was stopping off at Melmund, but he'd stopped at Provoca, which we know is on rack.
This is why you got to take notes. It's not quite entrance shuffle, so you won't have as many notes to take, but town shuffle notes can be important as well.
There, it looks like he's realized his error and he's headed to the right location now.
And there's that ribbon that Wote finds, once again in Ordeals, and you can see he found it in a different chest. That is the linked chest. So thank you for confirming my comment there, Wote. Caleb is about to turn in the herb to the Elf Prince. And we have items in stereo on the screen, with an Oxyale for Caleb and a Chime, incentive Ordeals for Wote. Alright, I'm updating our tracker notes here. We do strive to answer questions and be educational. We want people to learn about the randomizer. Come on in and try it, but be warned, it's very addicting.
Caleb looks like he's decided he's going to find Lefane now. He's headed down to check one of the last towns we still have questions about.
And the answer will be... Mute Frostwolves.
Well, that's going to be kind of aggravating. Wote finding his tail, so he can now class promote. Oh, wow. 3 encounters and 4 steps.
It can happen in the encounter table.
And we have a vanilla Lefane, so Caleb is going to get the information he wanted. He's going to get to come down here one time and never return.
And the Toga people have the rod. So now a full clear of Earth Cave becomes on the table. Probably not going to go that route, as we have discovered quite a few items already. And I think Caleb had enough of Earth Cave in his first race.
I think most of us over the course of time have had enough of Earth Cave once or twice there, Czar.
Chat noting we might have another ribbon that actually came out of Ordeals. So let me verify that real quick with the linked chest locations. And yes, that is verified. That the linked chest in Ordeals was not the one that I thought it was, as we find a level 3 Nuke and Saber, Lock 2 also at level 3. Caleb's found Elfland.
Elfland, our last town at the Vanilla on rack, so we now know where all of our towns are, so we can get on with the seed, now that we know where all of our magic is going to come from.
Yeah, we're coming up on the 40-minute mark. Wote discovers that loose loot. He's got to feel good about that.
And there's Cure 4. That's another very nice spell to have.
Not much for level 4 Black Magic, Fire 2 available, however.
Little extra help with the undead and the like, and a separate spell level, so that's always helpful in some form or another.
So Warp is a spell I don't think we've seen yet, which means we're probably looking at level 7 or level 8 Gaia or Onrak.
Quite possible, which means it won't be a whole lot of help to our runners generally, because we're not going to have it in time to do places like Ordeals, and we already have Exit to take care of Waterfall and a possible dive such as Mermaids.
We'll see if this influences a decision to go into Ice Cave or not, as it takes a little longer to full clear without Warp.
It very well could. It looks like Caleb is making the decision that since he found Elfland on this continent, he's going to do Waterfall and just be done with this entire area in one go.
Welcome back, Wild Roger, to the chat. Where's the incentivized chest in the volcano? It is the Red Dragon chest that is just north of Carrie's room on the bottom floor. And again, we invite you to come on in to our new player help of the Discord. We can answer all your questions there with much more efficiency.
We should note that that is the incentive chest, but in this flag set, it is not incentivized, so we're not likely to find something there unless it happens to be the chest where one of our loose items falls.
We've got the link there in the chat. If you're playing along with us here or doing a race, come on in there. We have people that are eager and willing to answer your questions. We also have a plethora of resources available for learning the game, such as maps, trackers, general enemy table information.
A lovely zap there from the Black Mage gets 2 levels apiece for all of Caleb's party members. That will help him out in this dive.
There's a Bane Sword in the armory. So, Bane Sword fans, get your love in. Are we going to have an out-of-bounds bat sighting here?
Oh no, not the out-of-bounds bat. Anything but that.
We're finding katana in the armory as well, so that's the best sword for his ninja, aside from arguably the Massimian.
One of the few runners this week to take a thief, so I'm sure that is a very welcome sight for him.
Yeah, we have not seen much katana use in this tournament thus far, so what's spoiling us at this point?
And Wote, when he gets around to checking Elfland, is going to be thrilled to see Nuke at level 3, because that means the ninja will be able to use it later. Cube out of the waterfall. That's very helpful for later. We already have the chime, so that opens Tiamat up to being ready to be killed now.
Also, another vanilla item. We have a cube at waterfall here. Unbelievable, I tell you. What are the odds of this happening?
Let's see here. 1 in 17?
Wote now dipping into volcano. And he finds the Excalibur.
Oh, I take that back. Mistake made doing math on Twitch, Czar. I'm guilty. It's 19. I forgot with the ribbon and the tail incentivized.
There you go, Trenton. There's our math bloopers here for you. Also, big thanks to Trenton. He's on our restream for this evening. Very busy with the Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament.
And I'd like to throw a shout out to Pizzapotamus, who has made it into track for us this evening.
Yes, excellent work thus far, Pizza. We appreciate you coming in. Let's give these runners some love as well. They're putting on a great show for us at this point. Question in chat. They just need the key. The key is still on the table. We also have TNT, which might end up leading to that key at some point. And I believe Caleb did turn in the adamant, so we can get that lit up for our tracker under Caleb.
Yep, that's what turned into our floater, because we had to use that heavy ball of iron to get that airship off the ground.
Wote is skipping the chest north of Carrie. He's only level 9 here. This is putting a lot of faith in his equipment and spells.
Multiple trap tiles to get to that single chest, so I don't mind skipping this one, especially since we've already seen one loose item, so it's much less likely to have something of real importance there.
Caleb gets through the Ordeals pillar maze very quickly.
Yes, he has been running very well tonight. It doesn't look like the nerves he had last week are affecting him to as great of an extent today.
This is a bold move by Wote here. He's got really good equipment. Excalibur is going to exploit a lot of weaknesses within much of the enemies. We'll see how it hits here. And it does huge damage.
Wow. Carrie must have rolled no absorb and no evade, because that Excal did work. Oh, and Caleb looks like he got caught. Looks like he reset out there. That's going to set him back a little.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He was going so quickly, so smoothly through there. And Wote has a first orb here at just over 45 minutes with a paper carry. So at this point, I think I have to give advantage to Wote. Caleb had a lead a little bit earlier. He found that white shirt that Wote has yet to find. We'll see how much that comes into play later, but I think Wote will be expanding his lead at this point.
Yep, I think where Caleb took the time to do all of the airship travel in one go to all the different towns for his promotion spells, I think that did cost him some time, and that wipe in Ordeals probably set him back far enough to give Wote a lead here.
So there's a ribbon pickup for Caleb in Ordeals in the northeast chest.
And now we should have
another one.
The Ordeals of the ribbons.
Pretty low chances of two ribbons ending up in Ordeals, but we have it here. As Wote now picks up the herb, he's going to turn that in very shortly.
Wote now recovering some ground that Caleb has already covered, and Caleb covering ground that Wote has already covered. So we'll have to see if we get a merge back in later. And there is the second ribbon, so we do have a double ribbon Ordeals confirmed.
Mind is blown.
That's pretty good to get 2 ribbons out of, what, Czar, 8 chests, I think it is?
Yeah, Ordeals, not really a dangerous place. We did see a couple of resets in there, but after that, it was in and out relatively quickly.
And Caleb picks up his full access to Tiamat now. He knows his whole route now, I think. Just got to find that key.
Yeah, that chime is going to give him access to Mirage, and the cube will take him higher into the sky.
That should tell both of our... If our runners are tracking themselves correctly, it should tell both of them that the TNT is going to be an ice cave and lead to that key. Almost assuredly.
Yeah, we did not find a cabin from any of the NPCs thus far, so that would confirm it.
Unless we get a ribbon and the key is the other loose item. That is the only way we don't know where our key item is. But with 2 ribbons picked up in Ordeals, I would guess that was probably our loose key item, and I believe that TNT will lead to the key.
I think it's a pretty safe bet at this point. And yes, noted in the chat, we had a bit of an issue with Caleb's timer. it was resolved as quickly as he could. We can't quite sync it up because it is his timer. It's basically a window capture of his setup right now. Caleb going to Mirage. This might give him a bit of an edge if he can get through here, get some levels, because he definitely needs levels at this point. Both runners very low level. But again, they have phenomenal equipment, so we could see a Temple of Fiends here around level 16, 17.
And we do have to remember that Caleb has already walked all the way down to Lefane and done Waterfall, plus his shopping in Elfland. So there is some ground here that Wote is going to have to cover, but I don't know as it's enough to make up for an entire dungeon dive like Wote already has cleared through Volcano.
And Caleb's getting roughed up there by some very bad men, along with war ponies.
There's the Sun Sword, which improves Caleb's equipment even more.
Yeah, he's going to put it on that second knight. And he's going to hand down the Ice Sword to the first one. Good move.
And there's another smart move. He moves the Aegis shield over to the non-knighted or non-ribboned knight to make sure they both have some resistances. That's very intelligent item usage by Caleb.
Yes, very smart, knowing his resistances, knowing to balance them out the best he can. Very impressed, considering he's still a relatively new runner.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. This has been a great show put on here so far. It is very obvious he's put in the work and gotten himself ready to really put on a show tonight with this race with Wote.
Speaking of Wote, he's on his way to the waterfall. He's going to find something very vanilla in there. And we have discovered that the vampires are unrunnable. Could be an issue on Skyform later?
Yes, the unrunnable vampires, depending on which one of the formations is unrunnable, could be very nasty later. Especially as hard as they appear to be hitting. But with Harm 4 and Fire 2, they didn't appear to have a whole lot of HP, so Caleb gets them down and gains a level and continues on trucking through Mirage Tower. Nuke, coming out from Wote on these Paralisks, doesn't want to get into a Trance Revolution.
No, Trance is one of the most dreaded enemy abilities in this game, and the reason is that it ignores all resistances. Caleb's going to have a second go-around of these vampires. This is good for levels. He's got some harm magic, and he's got nuke. I think after you check greater than, less than, though, would probably be a wise move to exit out and get those spell charges back. Then perhaps go deeper.
Oh, I agree 100%, especially since he's gained, I think, at least 3 levels in here, and it's probably going to be more with these packs of vampires. He's going to be rolling in the levels here with these vamps showing up, because Harm 4 is killing them all just about every time.
So here's a plot question. How did one of the vampires end up way down at Melmond, when apparently they're all hanging out here with all these other creatures in Mirage?
Well, I think the floating fortress was floating around, and he fell out the window.
There is a large step that you can fall through in the Sky Tower, so...
Oh, wow. Back-to-back chests, the defense sword, and a light axe. So we now have ways for those fighters to protect themselves and to do a lot of damage to those vampires.
Yes, defense is an excellent weapon. It has high hit, it has high damage, and when used as an item, it casts ruse. Hard to argue with an item. As useful, not only in utility, but with damage as well as the defense sword.
Now, we'll have to see. Does Caleb feel confident enough to climb the tower, or is he going to go somewhere else? It looks like we're climbing, Czar. He is headed into the floating fortress.
This could be a bit risky. Wote picking up his cube from the robot. You can lose a lot of time in Sky digging and taking levels. And if you encounter that War Mech of Doom or a nasty Tiamat, it can all be lost.
Wote safely exits out and then heads back down the river system. Finds the bad section of the encounter table, though, and is finding fights every step that he takes.
He's marching forward. I mean, fearless. I give him credit on that.
And only 25 heal potions, though, on Caleb's side. I'm not sure I love this play. Oh, and the blue dragon is unrunnable.
Should be able to get through. Blue Dragon might have something nasty though. Doesn't hit awful hard.
Oh, and neither does the nuke. Wow, that was a terrible nuke there.
Blue Dragon known for pretty high resistances.
But Fury gets a good hit there and with the Sun Sword and takes it out.
Wote is now making his move at the Mirage Tower, and we might see a high five at some point here.
Definitely a possibility here. Caleb, I think, with those vampire fights, may have a level or two on Wote for right now, but I think Wote will close that gap quickly with these unrunnable vampire fights.
This could be the deciding play of the run, this Mirage and Sky. Lyra inserting the Gauntlet 2 references. We love you, Lyra. So as these runners ascend further in the Sky Castle, I just want to take a quick moment to plug our Randomizer tournament polls. So we have our mascot and our bonus stream poll returning for this season. We want your vote. We want you to know how our bonus stream goes down and know that you have a voice in it. There's going to be a forced party for the bonus stream, and that forced party will be determined by you, the voters. So get your votes in now.
Caleb taking a really risky run here. His white mage is already down. He may just be making an information play and then reset out and have to come back in here. The right side of this level 1 of Sky Tower was basically void of anything useful. And a Gurnaga. Oh, Gurnaga's with Thunder. That's not fun to see.
Oh, that's rough.
And Caleb has decided to go elsewhere. Where do you think he's going to go, Czar?
Maybe Ice Cave?
I was actually wondering if he wasn't going to make the same volcano play that Wote made a little bit ago. But nope, he is going for the incentive items. He is headed for Ice Cave.
Yeah, he's definitely having to go to his plan B. I'm sure that was unexpected. Also unfortunate as he did take in a few encounters on the way up.
Question from our Twitch chat. Is the vampire chest an incentivized item? It can be incentivized depending on the flag set. Yes, it is the Earth Cave location for that, but it is not turned on for our Swiss round seeds.
So we know that Wote has 2 ribbons. However, Caleb had 2 ribbons as well, and he was still decimated. I'm not sure Wote is that much more prepared to go any higher. He does have Excalibur.
He may be in a slightly different portion of the encounter table, too. If he can avoid the thunder, it might be all right. But he's not up on into Sky Tower yet, so we'll have to see where he ends up when he gets up there.
Yeah, here's these vampires. These vampires are just time bleeders. We'll be seeing an eye grind here by Caleb, and we have an unrunnable image wraith formation. This could be trouble.
And there is Wote's defense sword and light axe pickup. So we're going to see some movement here on his item listings, and he's going to get ready to fight vampires for the rest of the seed, I think.
Yeah, he's getting out of there immediately. He's going to save.
Yep, used his house up so he got his spell charges back, so he's ready to go back in.
And it looks like he's going to try and brave the upper floors as well. Again, a bold move, but we saw it backfire on Caleb.
Yep, this could hurt pretty badly, or he could get a different section of the encounter table, and he could walk right through. We'll have to see whether he did a hard reset or a soft reset here. That could be very telling.
I'm surprised he has not moved that ninja up to the top slot yet to take advantage of the slightly higher chance of incentives and, excuse me, not incentives, initiatives.
Maybe with the gear the fighter has on, he feels that it's not necessary because of the defense he's got on there, but I'm a little surprised too. Those chances to first strike that allow you to get away are very important.
Perhaps he doesn't feel comfortable with his armor on the ninja as yet. Caleb again running into these undead, unrunnables, so vampires and wraiths and images are causing time losses for these runners, or excuse me, these runners.
And with no warp, we're going to have to see these fights twice, so they are going to drag Caleb down pretty severely here.
It's also something to note if you're thinking about an eye grind, on the chance that you might run into them during the eye grind. Geist with cremate, that's not very friendly.
Especially not in unrunnable packs. That could be very dangerous later. If he comes down through here again and gets more Geist in the unrunnable pack, that could be very bad for him.
Runner's fortunate to have checked Ordeals early and found both those ribbons.
Caleb going to see if the Frost Dragon rolled high or low. Frost Dragon with Poison Touch to start off, and it looks like a fair amount of evade, so Caleb looking to get out of here right away.
So we're just past the 1 hour mark now. We have one Orblit for Wote. It's been a pretty fast start. After that, we've been stymied by quite a few things here and there.
Our runners were making very good use of their abilities to run away with the ninja, the black wizard, things of that nature, but they have not taken as many fights as I would have expected after they found level 3 nuke, so we do not have a very high-leveled party at this point in time.
I know they're both concerned about time, and I'm sure at some point they're going to find that grind point to address it, but at this point in the seed, I'm surprised they have not done it already.
Caleb may be planning to use the fighters to do this eye grind. I'm not sure I like that play, but it's an even bet that it'll work. And Caleb, anyway, still has the opportunity to do the Agama grind as well. So we could see a couple different options from Caleb. Wote may be hoping to take enough levels in places like Sky Tower. And oh my, hold the phone. We have a loose TNT and Ice Cave. So that's going to be 2 incentives in Ice.
Wow, there we go. So we did have another loose item. That's a gigantic find for Caleb at this point.
And there's the Gurnaga with Thunder showing its face, and down goes Wote's Black Mage.
Yeah, right around the same point that Caleb did too. So I think they are on the same encounter table.
Yep.
Or no, he looks like he went back already, did he? Okay, no, he was exploring that floor.
Yep, he was exploring that floor and found the same thing. And these bad men are being very bad today.
Get out of there, Wote.
That could be a very difficult thing for the Temple of Fiends. If the bad men are that bad, there are several floors where they will appear on.
I think bad man only appears on the top floor. Evil man will appear.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's right. I've got the two types of men linked together.
Oh, we're gonna get a look at this eye here. Not very high hit points.
Ooh. And with the ability to exit out, we could see a very easy run here of a few eye grinds. And that's exactly what we're going to get. He's going to grind them and then probably exit out. And with that airship, the crown and the TNT are going to be very easy turn-ins, and one of them should net us the key and have us ready to rock and roll. Poison touch from the eye as well. That's multiple poison touches we've seen down here.
Fortunately, he did stock up on pures.
Wote still tar and feathering some chimeras.
Looks like Wote did exit out and got that save in, so he's going to retain those levels he got on the way up.
Ooh, and a
This is
very
high experience.
very nice fight here with the 5 whiz mummies.
Caleb must feel comfortable with this grind. He does have a light axe and a mage staff, which I'm sure is influencing this decision. The question becomes, what level do you go to? You know your levels are low coming in. Do you think about taking some fights in Temple on the way down, or?
Well, I don't know as I would, because you have to remember you've still got Sea Shrine to do, and you know that you're going to have the unrunnable Sahag packs, and you know that you could find the XP Pinata in there, so there's several of those coming on, and he's already got level 17, so it's not like he needs a lot more levels. Yep, there he goes. He's headed to check all of his incentives. We're out of Ice Cave and on our way. He did not save, however. He jumped straight into the airship. Let's see if he saves here. Nope, straight into Astos. No save.
Don't play with our emotions, Caleb.
And there's the key! We have the key!
So, the pieces of this puzzle have been put together. Yes, thank you for the information in chat about all the other Final Fantasy Randomizer action going on across the board tonight.
Yes, we have the Speed Gaming networks flooded with races tonight. We've got one race on Speed Gaming 3, one race on Speed Gaming 4, a race on Speed Gaming 5, and later we have Falconic versus Crab Cakes on Speed Gaming 1.
And we discover that Narek, the dwarf, has a ribbon that he's been holding on in exchange for that TNT.
So both loose ribbons were in Ordeals, and Caleb is in go mode. If he's comfortable with everything else, he can just take off, which will allow him to go mode the rest of Sky Tower, which could be a pretty big deal here, Czar, because Wote is still full clearing that right now.
That could be a very close deal here. I think Caleb is quickly tightening this race up as Wote continues his ascent of the Sky Castle. Caleb's going to make his move at these keylock chests. There's a black shirt pickup for Wote. Very useful item. It will cast Ice 2, and it grants your Black Wizard additional resistances to magic such as time. These rock golems are real juicy encounters.
Yep, looks like he's giving himself some invis too for safety, just to make sure he doesn't have a problem with them, and that nuke is just knocking him down like cardboard.
Caleb discovers a Thor hammer in the the elf armory.
That is all 19 free chests found by Caleb. He's cleared them all now. Making good use of that key find.
Drop that armor. Well, now with some wizard vampires, another high experience encounter here, but precious time, I think, is being lost. Caleb is getting closer here. I can feel it.
Wonder what Caleb is looking for here. He's already translated his slab and turned it into Lefane. So what could he be doing in Lefane here? Or in Melmond here?
Perhaps a spell or armor check? It's an armor check. He's looking for something.
He must have forgotten that we know that the gold bracelets were 19,000 in Corneria.
It's time to get your Bless RNG in, everyone, as Wote is going to tackle these nachos. Will we see Warmech tonight?
I think we've seen Warmech about every night, Czar. I think he's basically become a requirement in these flags.
Well, it's pretty ironic because Warmech is winning the mascot poll currently. This could be the tournament of Warmech.
And I know we've still got 4 characters left that we have not used for our super stream. Which one is winning the voting in that currently, Czar?
It looks like at last check, I think the Black Mages were winning. No, Black Belts were winning, excuse me. I believe they still have a...
The Black Belt stream. That could be a brutal early game. Wow, Caleb checking chests in Earth Cave. What do you think he's still looking for, Czar?
Well, he has not found Excalibur, Vorpal, or Maspian as of yet. That could be on the table. Maybe he's looking for the Power Bomb.
Yeah, I kind of doubt the Opal Bracelet because he's already got the white shirt for the White Mage, and we know where gold bracelets are, so I'd be kind of surprised if the Opal Bracelet really enters into his thought process at all.
So it appears we have another stream hiccup here. My commentary stream has gone blank. I will wait for an update.
Looks like I just got it back again. Caleb is reset out of the lower section of Earth 1 and is headed to check the other portion, as Wote is fighting some sorcerers on his way to Tiamat.
Okay, my commentary stream has been restored.
There's our third pro ring from a chest, so Caleb is really putting on the protective rings here.
Yeah, he seems to be trying to cover all the bases with his equipment. I'm not sure if he's worried about Temple. He does have the rod, so if he continues to dig in this Earth Cave, he's going to lose time, I think.
I feel that he may be in the same position I was when I started the randomizers. You get so used to doing all your fights with a top 5 weapon that if you don't have one, you're real concerned that you're gonna get killed before you get anything done. So you try to get all the armor you can because you're afraid your weaponry isn't good enough.
I mean, his concern is warranted at this point. Defense Sword is a fine weapon. However, damage-wise, I think you kind of have to have a power bonk if you run into a nasty temple.
Yeah, especially where he's only got one caster for Fast and Temper, and both of those are at the same level. That's really limiting his ability to power up his fighters.
Yeah, I think at this point I would only dive with his current equipment if I was much more high leveled.
I think I'd be pretty likely here to try to do Sea Shrine and Sky Castle, taking some fights along the way, and then get into Volcano and Agama Grind if I wasn't happy. And Wote is taking on Tiamat, getting himself buffed up, and gonna see if we can't insta-kill him, it looks like, with that Black Wizard. Bane comes out, and it's ineffective.
Come on, Bane.
Some decent hits here, upper hundreds, 150, 180, 199, 163. So we're doing decent damage to Tiamat. Bane comes out again, and it's ineffective again. Doesn't look like we're going to get a Bane kill today. Oh, until the White Mage does it with the Bane Sword.
Ah, that's classic FFR. Nothing feels better than witnessing that. As Caleb is through the vampire, and he's going to check the rod chest in vanilla, and it only has a little bit of gold.
That poor vampire fell out of the sky castle as it floated over, and he's been lost here for 100 years. Finally been put to rest.
Well, apparently he can sneak over to Melmond every now and again. With the new flags, there's a low chance of encountering a vampire in Melmond. Wote's now going to translate the slab. He's got 2 orbs. His lead was slipping away slightly. I think this Earth Cave is going to be to Caleb's detriment, however.
Yep, I think this is going to hurt him a bit. He's full clearing Earth, and that is a very slow full clear, simply because of the breadth of the travel you have to do to get to all the chests. But Wote still has to get to Lefane, so there is going to be some time sink here for Wote to get down to Lefane and get that slab turned in.
Depending on if he takes some Zombo encounters or Giants, perhaps. Looks like he's cabining up. I think he's trying to avoid encounters at this point. Nope, he's running at this point. Okay. Not much in the north side of Earth Cave 4th floor.
Nothing except that darn bat that got in his way again.
So it looks like both runners are kind of avoiding Sea Shrine at this point. And it's hard to blame them. In Sea Shrine, you're going to be guaranteed unrunnable encounters.
Yeah, and especially since they have the knowledge that Lit 2 and Lit 3 were level 7 black magic, so they don't have a great way to clear stuff out there. The Thor Hammer Caleb picked up may help him in there a fair bit more than what Wote has at the moment, just simply for the fact that it's Lit 2 charges.
So Caleb now coming up to Lich, the Fiend of Earth. He should be lighting his first orb. Some unrunnable images, however.
Yeah, he's got 2 light axes, though. I don't foresee that being a problem. And the second light axe cleans him up nicely. Wote appears to still be avoiding Ice Cave like the plague. I am not sure I like this play, Czar. Oh my, Wote is going to... Nope, he changed his mind there. It looked like he was going to full clear Earth Cave there for just a second.
Yeah, I think he might be considering just full clearing... Or not, excuse me, full clearing, go-moding Earth Cave, which would be the right move.
Oh, and here we go. Caleb going for the Quake play. Oh, ineffective.
Lich being a party pooper. And at 1 hour, 13 minutes, Caleb has his first orb lit, the Orb of Earth. So Caleb's going to make a stop at Crescent. Wote is grinding through this Earth Cave. That's exactly what Earth Cave is. It's a grind, it's a slog.
And Wote is checking chests. It looks like we're going to get nearly a full clear of Earth Cave here by Wote. With the incentives left, Czar, I do not like this full clear Earth Cave from Wote. I don't think I can get behind this one.
I mean, it's a little questionable. He's got 2 ribbons. He's got Excalibur. He's got a katana. He's got a little extra spell charges with his ninja.
He also has the power bonk.
Wote got the power bonk win.
I believe it was in the upper section of Sky.
I must have missed that one. Can
Yeah.
we please get that lit up on the tracker for Wote? Well, yeah, with power bonk, I'd be much more confident in just going.
Yeah, with the X-Cal and a katana, I'm surprised to see Wote clearing as many chests he is before he's taken the incentive locations in ice. I don't see the point.
Calibrating the armory, he's going to find that Bane sword.
That Bane sword is available for Tiamat a second time, so maybe we'll get to see 2 poison smokes this afternoon, Czar.
Hey, I love Bane. And the only thing you need for Bane to work is pretend the target is Batman.
But I'm Batman.
Caleb's going to dig deeper into this volcano. Wote is checking the north side of Earth. I mean, if I had warp, maybe, but
Maybe Wote has
we all-
decided that one key item is going to be in an unusual location, and he's made the decision to check Earth Cave. It's been there several times in these first 2 weeks of our Swiss round, so not unheard of, just not particularly this seed.
it is, and of course we always have our superstition among runners. Some runners are more passionate about certain items than others, and won't feel comfortable actually finishing the game without them.
Another great move by Caleb there, using the bottom tiles in a room to keep from advancing the encounter table. He has watched some VODs and he has done a lot of practice, apparently. This has been very impressive, seeing some of the routing he's picked up in a very short period of time, Czar.
It is. He's playing like a veteran thus far. I haven't noticed many mistakes. I've noticed very good menuing, management, knowing his items, knowing his spells.
Ah,
there's that power bonk.
The power
It is
bonk. It was Volcano.
So with bonk in hand, I think Caleb's got to feel go mode now. 3 ribbons, white shirt. Only thing you could really ask for at this point is Vorpal Amasa.
Yep, the instant he found the power bonk, he's gone, Czar. He jetted to carry. He's done. He's out of here.
It's amazing what that one item can do.
He must have decided he had to have the Masa, the Vorpal, or something to power himself up. The instant he had the bonk, he never checked another chest. He was just out of here. That is wonderful to see from a new runner. He knows what he wants, and once he gets it, he's done.
Red Giants revealing poison. That's one off the table for later. Wote has lit his third orb, and he's going to be headed to Sea Shrine once he feels comfortable. Looks like Wote might be going to Ice.
Looks like Wote got a little lost there.
No, he's going to Onrak.
Nope, he's going to Onrak. I thought the way he was zipping around there, he'd misplaced his location on the map, headed to Ice, but he was just looking for Provoca.
Caleb now tackling Carrie. Carrie had high hit points, but not much aside from that.
Caleb looks like he's going for all the meme strats. We're seeing Quakes, we're seeing Banes, we're seeing everything today.
Question in chat about Incentive Ice Cave. In this seed, we had a crown in the Ice Cave.
We also had the loose TNT in the bottom. So if Wote tries to just go straight through and exit out, he could miss the TNT.
Caleb now likes a fire orb. He's heading right to Onrak. Wow. Similar routes coming together here.
So it's basically going to be a race. Can Caleb get through Sky Castle faster than Wote can get through Ice Cave? That's what this is going to boil down to, Czar.
Yeah, we went from 2 orbs and 0 orbs to what we see now. 2 orbs and 3 orbs. He's catching up very quickly.
Saw level 20 on Wote's side, so I'm gonna have to check here. I don't know what level Caleb's at. He may be a level or 2 behind.
For endgame, I think it's pretty even at this point, actually. You've got 2 knights for Caleb, which is strong. You've got a little more utility and options, I think, with the ninja from Wote, who does have the katana. I believe Nuke is available to that ninja as well.
Yes, it is, at level 3.
So yeah, it's really hard to say. You've got a strong knight with life 2 and cure 4. You've got a ninja with Nuke and katana.
Yeah, I think it could actually boil down to whether you come up against something that can kill that knight, like a Kraken 2 that gets a first strike in that first turn and does 400 or 500 damage with a swing, where Caleb has 2 knights, Wote only has 1. The life 2 charges could come into play there, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty darn close here.
Question about the timer. Yes, Caleb had a late start on his timer. He was able to get it started about, I think, 4 minutes. The difference you see now.
Very new runner, getting used to all the buttons. May have had a hotkey pressed to something that he bumped or something. It happens to all of us once in a while. Wow, the same Gershark like 2 tiles apart. This is some amazing stuff here, Czar. They're going to basically stand on top of Kraken at the exact same time.
This is wild, considering the lead changes that we've seen. It's converging now, at almost an hour and 30 minutes into this thing.
Now, each have 1 dungeon left. It's Ice Cave versus Mirage Sky.
Well, Caleb's been through the lower part of Mirage already. He's got some knowledge of the first floor of Sky, and he appears to be in go mode, so at this point I think we'll see Caleb get into Temple maybe a little bit before Wote.
Yeah, I think it's going to boil down to how many of the unrunnables he gets stuck with, because we know the Vamps were unrunnable, and we know some of that, so Sky is not easy to get through. It'll be good XP, but it's not easy to get through. We could have a second Caleb race in a row that comes down to just seconds at the end. This is going to be a great finish.
I'm getting hyped now. I'm on the edge of my seat as we see our first squid on screen.
And Caleb's only one level behind, and he still gets to climb Sky Tower, so I think he'll make up the level gap. It's just a matter of if he can keep up the pace. Oh, and the Pain Sword does in Kraken! Caleb takes it out in a hurry.
That's a solid play there.
Wow. That is 2 Bane Sword usages in 2 Fiends between our runners.
Another veteran move.
Wote got Tiamat with it, and Caleb answered right back by knocking Kraken out of the park. Phenomenal stuff we've got going on here.
And it may not seem like much, but a 25-second lead has suddenly been attributed to a Bane. Oh, that was great. It's always good to see a new runner who's done a lot of their homework and knows what they're doing. Very refreshing. Watch out for the Caleb. He's one to watch in this tournament.
Caleb has done his homework and is getting more dangerous by the second. He's going to be a threat. Big time. And Wote has headed into Ice Cave, so we are now dungeon for dungeon. It's an Ice Cave versus Sky Tower race. Here we go.
Wote still does not yet know that there's a loose item in Ice Cave. I wonder if this is going to play into his decision-making here.
Well, I thought it had a chance to give Caleb a lead, but Wote did not go back for mermaids. He decided to do Ice Cave instead. So what I thought was going to possibly give Caleb an advantage is not going to come to fruition, it doesn't look like. So we are basically still dead even here.
I'm starting to think about Temple now and some of the more nasty spells that we've already seen. We've seen Poison. We've seen Cure 4, which was on the bones, and that's got to be relieving.
Yeah, that Cure 4 being on the bones so early has got to be a great relief, because we know we're not going to run into it now on somebody like Tiamat 2 or Chaos.
Yes, we have a 5 minutes difference on the timers. Caleb was getting a late start on his timer, and since it is cropped, we cannot adjust. Caleb again meeting those thunder snakes. They really don't like him.
They have been all around. Wow, and another one.
Commentary the curse.
Wow! Did you have to make it that bad, Czar? The next footstep? Really?
Well, we're going to be talking about a war mech here pretty soon, so...
And Caleb going to the topside chests in the 3rd floor of Sky. Not sure what this check is for.
It's a quick check. He's got to be hoping for something like Massa.
Gonna come up empty there. Looks like Massa's going to be hiding in one of the very unusual locations. The Marsh Locked or something of that nature.
Vanilla Massa for the win.
Ooh, now there's a possibility. Or we could have a validation chest Massa. We've had several things in the validation chest right there at Phantom lately.
Well, now picking up the crown, and it looks like he did get that TNT. Caleb taking these sentry fights. Pretty good experience.
He's leaving the Black Mage down, though. I'm not sure what he's thinking here. Maybe he's just hoping that the extra XP for the fighters will carry him through with the extra levels here. Ooh, but there he loses a fighter, too.
Another sentry, wow.
Wote has picked up the key and is now beginning his key lock checks. We know there's a little bit of stuff in here, but nothing earth-shattering once he gets these 19 chests opened.
Question is about what else is incentivized. We know that TNT will lead to a ribbon from the dwarf. And it looks like Wote is passing. Maybe he did not get the TNT.
I think he got it, but I think once he got the key, he knows he's in go mode, so I think we're about to see a Topher dive. Wote's done. He thinks he's headed in.
So he'll be going in with 1 ribbon less and a white shirt less. White shirt is actually in Temple in the southwest chest.
He could definitely find that.
Caleb full clearing this floor. It's a high chest density. He's gonna get the black shirt. Which is definitely better than a copper bracelet he's got, so.
Yep, that will help see.
Here. I would move that heel helmet up to one of his knights and put that ribbon on the Black Wizard, at least for now. Yeah, we're pretty choppy on the restream here. We will attempt to restore as soon as possible. It looks like Wote is now heading into Temple of Fiends Revisited at the 1 hour, 34-minute mark.
Looks like he's got half a floor plus the Bridge of Destiny worth of a lead here.
This is where those early moves for Wote really came into play here.
Yep. All right, chat. This is your last opportunity to seed. It looks like get those bless RNGs in chat for the Warmac. We're crossing the Bridge of Destiny.
Let's go, Warmac.
Wote checking the validation chests.
So no massa will be found on this seed, it appears.
Doesn't look like it. Some R-Hydras for Caleb and 2 worms for Wote. Wote has no interest in the XP from the worms. He's right out of there.
Yeah, this is a good play, I think. You can get information if nothing else. Get down, get the information on the fiends you need. Even if you do discover you need to take levels later, you know. And as we all know, knowledge is power. Caleb getting his fair share of encounters on the Bridge of Destiny.
Yes, he is. But so far, none of our favorite friend. Whew. That's 5 encounters so far, and still none that have been the bad boy.
We're gonna get our first look at Lich 1. Physical attack. Don't respect Lich 1, right? Excuse me, Lich 2.
I don't respect either one, so it really doesn't matter which Lich it is. Which Lich is which?
How many Liches does it take to... Oh, never mind.
1, a 2, a 3.
Agama's having their way with Wote, or he can get away.
And we're trying the Bane strats again on this Tiamat. 2 shots at it, neither one was effective. Wote headed through more Agamas, and this time they're unrunnable with the Red Giant, so that's going to be an interesting fight to have to take a couple of times here.
Sadly, no mech today.
No mech, but we do have Bane strats all over the place for you, Czar. We're trying them again.
Gotta do it. I'm not saying no.
That's 6 charges so far at it and still haven't gotten one to land. Oh, and now we've gone to a zap. That ineffective as well.
I know Extra was available at level 1. Extra can increase your chances of hitting a spell like Bane or Brack.
Yep. Oh, the swords just are not doing the job here. We're hitting for 4 damage at a time. Caleb really needs one of these Banes to hit. This is rough. He's losing some time here.
Yeah,
Wote got that Bane off pretty good.
Beefy Tiamat 1 in terms of absorb. Gonna get our first look at Carry 2, who also appears to have rolled pretty high. Oh, never mind. A gigantic swing.
There's an adjustment from Caleb. He's told the Black Wizard to nuke Tiamat, but only for 166. Not real good rolls there, but we've got plenty of charges, so here comes another nuke. Only 103 this time. Ooh, Tia's not being friendly.
Yeah, Caleb being stymied here, losing precious time. Wote is getting a hero run through the water floor.
One of the best times to get that hero run, in my opinion.
Oh, but we get the Dreadwaters.
Oh, and they're unrunnable, too.
Scary stuff here with these waters. As
All
Caleb
right.
finally gets through that Tiamat.
That was one rough Tiamat. And waters have trance. This could get bad if somebody gets unlucky with the trances here.
Oh, poison as well. Did he buy softs?
Wow. So that's stone poison and trance on unrunnable waters. Whew!
He did have 4 softs.
Just enough. Now the ninja and the Black Wizard go forth to be the Kraken sacrificial lambs. Caleb is doing his purchasing up of all of his heals, getting ready for his dive. We'll have to see if he can make up the ground on Wote here.
Yeah, Wote entered Temple at 1 hour 34 minutes on his timer. So at this point, Caleb's about to go in. Wote has about a 9-minute lead. That Tiamat was very costly.
Yeah, that not getting the poison smoke on the Tiamat's going to hurt. But Kraken has opened with a swirl, so Kraken's not going to be too easy. But the fighter hits for 465 damage, and down goes Kraken 2.
Wote not healing. Throwing caution to the wind here, and he gets unrunnable airs. Danger. As Caleb has entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited. So it would be about the 141 mark. Excuse me. The lead for Wote is approximately 6 minutes. Now we're going to go look at our Tiamat 2. Haven't seen much too nasty in the way of fiends yet. This is a bit nerve-wracking here.
Yeah, Caleb a bit indecisive there, trying to decide whether or not to take that slime fight or not.
Oh,
Does
no.
decide to get out of it. Oh my, an early nuclear. That's going to change a few things.
That's going to change everything. He's got 1 hit point, and now the ninja's down. Oh, and no damage coming from that defense side.
Wow,
currently.
was that 15 damage? Ooh, Tiamat looks like he might be attack happy though, so we may just have to... Oh no! Nuclear to back up the nuke! This is not good!
Tornado. Finishing
Wow.
off.
A nuke, a nuclear, and a tornado. I'm not sure this party at this level can survive that Tiamat. I'm not sure it's going to matter. We
And
may
that was,
have to get some more levels here.
That was 2 nuclears and a tornado in short succession, along with what appeared to be very high absorb.
Wow. This race just became more interesting.
Yeah, Caleb with the lead now, and with those 2 knights, he might have a bit of an advantage, given what we've seen. Those knights have Cure 4, they have Life 2. I think Caleb has a big advantage in that.
With the party comp, I think you are correct. There's just too many extra Cure 4 and Life 2 charges on that party.
I think it's all going to come down to initiatives. Nuclear, tornado, nuclear, it's extremely difficult to survive that succession of spells in that short of order.
The Cure 4s could be the difference, though. A decent initiative in, like, turn 3 of that could put those knights back up to full health and let them start wailing on Tiamat while he doesn't have a skill list to run through.
That's correct. And it also increases their chances of being able to get a crit loop, which would be, huge.
And for our new runner, Czar, what is a crit loop?
A critical hit loop is when you're fighting one of the single enemies, and you hold down the A button to fight. There's a slight chance that as long as you hold down the A button, you'll get the same result every round. So if you can actually establish a critical hit for that round, in theory you can chop away at the boss, and if you have your high absorb up and the boss is attacking physically, you're pretty much safe. You're guaranteed to finish the battle as soon as you can get through all their hit points. It's one of my favorite strats. And we have a nuke coming out.
Lich shows a nuke. We did not have that piece of information earlier.
No, so one of the nukes is now off the table. That's, actually I think maybe a good sign for not having it on that Tiamat 2 or possibly Chaos. Yeah, Wote knows what he's going to be running into here. I think his strats will be very different this time. I think he's going to try and get either bonked and tempered up, or go all out nukes.
Caleb having a little bit of a rough time with his menuing there, dropping some cure potions onto somebody who's already full HP. He'll get that figured out, I'm sure. Takes a little time. They're both on the fire floor.
This is so close right now. Wow.
Tiamat's HP may be what decides this race. If there's high HP to go with that skill list, I think Wote's in trouble. But if it's low HP where Wote can get through it with the nukes, he may be able to make this work. It's all going to boil down to that at this point.
Four hits, 410 damage to carry from Caleb. A strong hit from the second knight. And Viz 2 going up for Wote.
Alright, there's a lit 2. And it does take out the black mage. But the knight swings and takes out carry 2. So we're on our way. We have, oh my, the fighter down and the black mage down for Wote. Carry 2 is being a real pain.
This is bad news for Wote. He's got to finish now.
He's got to keep that white mage alive.
Quad
Just
X.
finishing it won't matter.
And he manages to get through.
Whew. Now, that would have been terrible to have gotten clear to Tiamat the first time and get burned for carry there. Oh my goodness.
Caleb getting roasted here by Wizard Sea Hags revealing Cremate.
Wow, that is the second or the third cremate we've seen this seed. They're all over the place today.
Oh, and again, this is where these ribbons that he has are huge. Definitely going to slow him down, though. Wote taking this huge experience encounter with the eyes and the sharks. I believe this encounter is one of the most lucrative experience encounters you can get.
Yes, the gray sharks are 2,300 XP apiece, and the big eyes are 3,500. So you're talking, 46, about 11,700 XP from that fight in the vanilla base, plus the 150% boost.
Oh no! And Wote gets the 6 waters.
Ooh, this
Treads.
could be really bad with 6 of them. He only saw 3 last time, and it caused him trouble. 6 could be real trouble here.
Caleb now engaging Kraken 2. Looks like he's going to try and get some buffs up.
Did not move the white shirt. It is still on the white mage, so you're only going to get the 1 Invis 2 off around there.
I don't think he had any armor that he could swap out.
Yeah, I don't think he ever went back for the gold bracelets, which could come back to haunt him a bit here.
Kraken 2 was slow 2.
Yeah.
Fortunately hits the Black Wizard.
Wote free from the waters. He did make it out of there and is on his way to throughout the rest of the water floor. He is going through without healing his party, though. He's running a risk here. He's got a ninja at 60 HP, and the 2 mages are below 200. I'm not sure about this.
I think his knight still has the life magic. So, maybe trying to save time on menus?
Quite possibly. He may feel after that Tiamat wipe that this match just got significantly closer than he wanted it to be, and he would be correct.
Caleb now approaching this Tiamat 2. Has not seen what awaits him yet. Here we go.
All right.
What's this strat gonna be? He's gonna temper. Wow, I'm surprised he's going for temper instead of fast.
There's the defense sword and the power bonk, so we're going for a full buff strat here.
And he does not get the temper off or the fast. This is bad.
Right, he's going to start dumping heal 3s now. Try to keep himself up. Gets good turn order from the white mage.
Uh-oh. There goes one of his main healers.
Oh,
These knights can heal themselves, but I think what you got to do here is at least get 3 to 4 rounds of bonk in and then pray.
Yeah. Yep. He's going to bonk. Yep, he had to. He's out of heal 2s on Gary.
There's that next nuclear. Oh no!
Looks like can he recover from this and go to the drink strats? No, he's gonna attempt to just fire through. And he actually got off for 330 damage there. He's got enough to get through now.
He did not get Cure 4 on the Knights. Oh no!
I don't think he could. I think it was level 4, Czar.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes. Oh, and there's nuclear again. Oh my.
Now Wote getting his shot of nuclear. This is a devastating Tiamat 2.
This Tiamat 2 is absolutely bonkers. It's got 2 nuclears, a tornado. I mean, this thing is just a buzzsaw. Even Minochi would have to agree.
Also hits like a truck.
Oh, Wote got through it! 1 knight alive at 61 HP, and he made it through. He managed to burn it. There. Yes, he did. He got that crit run. Wow. That crit run may have decided this race, guys. Wote did make it through. But I notice Wote is not taking the victory lap like Will Cleosis did last week on Caleb. He decided, oh, I can't risk this. I'm going straight into the chaos fight.
This is it. He's seen a lot. We've seen a lot on the table already, but there is still a nuke floating around, I believe.
Might be 1, but I think that's probably all that's left.
He's going to make sure his equipment is correct. Meanwhile, Caleb battling some green dragons. Probably wants a little more experience now, given what he's seen. And at 152, we are engaging Chaos.
And Chaos opens with fast, so this defense sword is going to be key. If Chaos has a big swing, this could hurt.
Yep, gotta get defensive buffs up now. Pretty good shot on the ninja there, but got enough defensive buffs up.
Oh wow, the ninja is for 500 right there, fasted and sabered.
That's the power of the katana. Couple more of those and this race is going to be over. Going for the Bane strats. Chaos with fire 2.
Oh, there we go. He was wanting to wait with the white mage and didn't realize it was stunned.
There's another big shot for 500.
Lock ineffective. He was trying to lock Chaos down to make him swing, to make his swings easier. Here comes again. Lock ineffective again. No luck for Wote on the lock.
He's got Chaos on the ropes here. He's just got to get another big shot. Ink coming out. That's a free round.
And there it is with the ninja. A monster swing for 730 and down goes Chaos.
Wow, and again, that's the power of that katana. GG to Wote.
Another phenomenal race here from these two. That was a wonderful race to watch for everybody.
Yeah, it was lead changes, and then it was just so close. Back and forth. What a Tiamat 2.
We have seen several races this week that have had Tiamat 2 as the main gatekeeper. Gotta watch out for that dragon. She's a little upset that Kraken gets so much respect for how fast he swings those tentacles.
We're gonna give Wote a second, and then we're gonna try and get him in here. That was a clutch Tiamat 2.
Yes, it was.
We are joined by Wote.
Oh, good. Googly moogly. Where on earth is Caleb?
Caleb is taking a second climb up through Temple of Fiends Revisited. You guys were neck and neck up through there.
How are you feeling, Wote?
I now understand ZaRNG on a level I never thought I could understand it.
This was a plethora of ZaRNG. I think we can agree.
What the hell was up with that Marsh Cave, Zar? What was that formation like? That was the third encounter. If you went north. What was that, Zar? Do you know what level people are when they go into Marsh Cave? Not high enough level for that crap.
Well, I don't know about you, but on this side of the fence, we call it entertainment.
Yeah, when I'm on that side of the fence, it's entertaining. When I'm, trying to win to impress the ladies in my life, it's less entertaining.
Well, I must certainly say that you adapted, you played well, and that clutch finish. Walk us through that Tiamat 2.
Well, okay. So, the first 3 fiends were a cakewalk, as I'm sure you noticed. So it's one of those things where I kind of was just on autopilot going to Tia 2 the first time and forgot to heal. Which is what killed me. If I'd remembered to heal, I probably would have taken her down the first go-round. Just because my fighter would have had enough HP to survive that. But the second go-round, I knew that she was going to be able to put out some punishment. And you saw, I even had the Cure 4 queued up when she decided to murder my white mage. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, I just have to do this. And I can't actually walk you through it because at a certain point I just was on autopilot, and I don't actually remember what I did there. Like, I think I just kind of held A and prayed.
Your knight survived at 61 HP, Wote.
Yeah, I remember that part. It had just enough life 2s to where I didn't have to menu to life 2 anyone up and could just cure for the knight and go.
Night
At
was
some point,
very
my
gifted.
heart might stop. But in a good way, not in a bad way.
One thing you did miss, Wote, we have found out that Lich 2 had a nuke.
Okay, I think I have earned the right to not see Lich 2's nuke for the rest of the Swiss rounds. I would say that that's fair.
All's fair in love and randomizer.
But yeah, no, like the one I remember is early on, right after I translated the slab. I don't even remember what killed me, but something killed me, and I had no. It was that I was saving to go into Temple of Fiends because I just skip the chest in Temple of Fiends until I have the airship. That's just how I play the game. It was one of those things where I thought I'd hit save, and I didn't, and suddenly I'm standing outside Gaia.
Okay.
I did wonder about that, Wote, because I didn't think I'd seen anything kill you. I looked over at Caleb's screen, looked back, and you were outside of Gaia, and I went, well, something must have killed Wote.
What killed me was mismenuing, the hardest boss of all. But yeah, so at that point it's just like, well, I was planning to go to Ordeals after checking Temple of Fiends anyway, so I'll just have to remember to translate the slab later. And so, like, that's just what I did, is I went back, made sure to grab the crystal so I didn't forget to do that too, and then just started running around until I got it. So, did Marsh trip Caleb up at all, or did he also, like, figure out how to get around the nasty encounters?
There was a couple wipes, I think, and then he got through okay. Level 1 exit was very helpful.
He actually got through the top section in one go and exited out, but it cost him all of his spell charges to stay alive to get through it, so he had to do a walk back to Melmond, heal up, and come back. So it cost him a little walking time more than anything. Did you have a particular reason that you did so many dives into Fiend dungeons before clearing out the incentivized Ice Cave, Wote?
Because it's Ice Cave. Like, it's one of those things, I didn't quite catch which undead was, like, murdering me early on, and so it was kind of a matter of, you know, I'm just gonna save Ice Cave until I have to go there, because odds are good that by the time I get there, I'll either have the MDef to tank through it, or just, you know, the gear to tank through it. But yeah, no, it was one of those things where it's just like, I don't like doing Ice Cave if I don't have to, just for the simple reason that, like, there's a lot of different enemies down there, so there's a lot of chances for really bad things to happen. And so I just try to stay away from bad things. But no, like, it's one of those things, the way that I try to play the game, in all honesty, is just like, well, you kind of saw it. I skipped a lot of chests. Like a lot of chests. And that's basically because, well, my menuing is clumsy. I sometimes, you know, zig when I mean to zag. And it's just like, the only way I can keep even with people is to literally just go, screw it. I'm comfortable with low-level Temple of Fiends Revisited, and I'm willing to bet that that if I miss the loose item, they're going to lose enough time, like, doing the full clear necessary to catch the loose item, that I'll catch up anyway. So, like, that's just the way in which I try to play the game.
Now, did you realize what was going to come from that TNT if you'd turned it in? Was that a conscious skip on your part?
No, it was just one of those things where it's like, well, I'm down, well, okay. I'd actually forgotten about the crown, and so it's like, well, either the key or TNT's here in Ice Cave, and then it was just like, oh, right, the crown exists. Well, either this leads to the key or TNT, and if it leads to TNT and the TNT leads to nothing, then I'm in trouble. Where was TNT?
TNT was in the Ice Cave. It was one of the chests down there.
Oh, okay,
It was loose
cool.
in Ice Cave, and it led to a ribbon.
Yeah, it was your third ribbon.
Neat. I mean,
Okay,
I already
we have
had
Caleb.
two.
Caleb's engaging Tiamat 2 here. Black Wizard survives a shot. He's going to get that fast off. We know that this Tiamat 2 has a lot of nasty spells. all kinds of tricks up its sleeve. Very high absorb and evade. Like he's going with the Bane strats. So when you saw the second nuclear, what were you thinking then?
My thought was that, like, I was going to give you a piece of my mind when I finished this seed. And as you see, I carried through with my commitments.
There was an offering and a blessing before the seed was rolled.
It is appreciated. Let me just double check. Alright, cool. I do have everything off, so I can just pull up the stream. Just want to make sure, like, I know that you don't have my audio going, but...
Caleb down to his knights now. He did not get, or he does have the life 2 on the knights, excuse me.
Yes, he's got the life 2, and he's got enough to get, I think, everybody up. Yep, there we go. He's ready to dig the chaos floor.
You can do it, Caleb! I believe in you!
So, Wote, during the time that you spent on Caleb's podcast, you guys did a swap of forced characters and names. What's the story behind the white mage Caleb is running tonight? Tony.
Oh, Tony? He is one of my very good friends. I've known him for... When did Guild Wars 2 come out? Because, whenever Guild Wars 2 came out, I met Tony like 2 months after that, and we have been friends ever since, and he is awesome and bae, and also, like, best healer. Like, all of the names that I tend to use are names that come from my Guild Wars 2 guild. So, like, you know, Twill is my fiancé and also, like, my thief. And Momo is my friend Mochi, who is basically best fighter. So that kind of thing.
Ah, well, thank you for clarifying. I'm pretty sure that some thought Momo was our own Mo from the community.
No, she's just the second. She's just also a Momo.
Lots of Mo's floating around then.
Yeah.
So Caleb is buffing up his knight. He's going to attack this chaos. Chaos revealing fast.
Yeah, no, this was not a pushover chaos. Like, I'm glad I had that saber for my ninja.
The ninja was doing some huge damage there.
Yeah, I got 2 sabers off after she landed her fast.
I was surprised you took the time to do the second saber, Wote, after Chaos used fast on himself.
How strong
was your faith in the katana?
I mean, did you see me digging for more weapons after I found X-Cal and katana?
Big shot from the knight to chaos.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this just to see, like, what Caleb was doing. It's a lot easier knowing how it ends.
You guys high-fived. Yeah, you guys high-fived in several areas. You were basically holding hands through Sea Shrine.
Nice!
The entire Sea Shrine, like literally. You pulled Kraken within about 10 seconds of each other.
Nice.
Yeah, at that point, it was so close.
Yeah, when you guys finished Kraken, you had to go do Ice Cave, and he had to go do Sky. It was basically a race through Ice Cave and Sky. And we have Chaos crushed by Caleb. Let's get the last of the GGs in chat for Caleb.
Seriously, y'all, get those GGs out there.
GG, he's improved so much since week 1. I think he's the most improved runner I've seen thus far in the tournament. He made a lot of really veteran moves in this run.
What's the VMI at, if that's the case, Czar?
I would say it's off the charts.
Excellent. I better get his butt in here. I want to talk to him about this seed.
We will attempt to get him in here. If we could please have the tracker mark him as done.
All right, while we're getting Caleb in here, anything you have to say on the rest of that seed and the ZARNG you were subjected to, Wote?
Well, okay. As much crap as I gave Czar, after seeing Caleb's race last week, I kind of knew I needed the ZARNG. Like, I knew the only real chance I had, like, to beat Caleb was to just hope that the seed was brutal enough to where, like, knowledge could overcome skill.
And we are joined now by Caleb. GG's!
Well, Caleb, turns out you were right in the humble off.
Yeah. GG Wote, GG Wote.
Dude, I was certain you were going to dun me after I wiped in Topher on Tia 2, which I assume you figured if I wiped in Topher, it was on Tia 2.
Well, once I wiped on Tia 2, I figured I was out, so.
I mean, she almost got you back in it. I had 61 HP left on my knight, and only my knight, when I took her down.
Caleb Czar here, GG.
Thank you.
Showed so many leaps and bounds from what we saw in the first race, and just in terms of knowledge and menuing and your items, it's clear you've done your homework. My question to you is, were you going into the seed confident knowing all of this knowledge would help you? Or were you still kind of concerned about going up against a veteran like Wote?
I felt more prepared, but I was still concerned. So
I really am surprised that y'all consider me a veteran, but I'll take the compliment.
Yeah, just from your menuing to your knowledge of the items, spreading out your items, knowing your spells, it's almost unprecedented in what I've seen from somebody who's only known the randomizer. How long? Just about a week now?
yeah, I mean, I've been playing the randomizer for about a week and a half now, but I mean, I've been watching the videos for probably close to 2 years, so it's like a studying, I guess, but without actual implementation and the actual playing the game. Obviously, I need to do more.
Caleb, Hyro here. What did you think of that early Marsh Cave and all the fun that you got to have trying to get through there alive?
I kind of hated it.
So did Wote.
I was happy to see early exit and early life too, because I figured that would make my early marsh, early waterfall, if I needed to do it, it would make it a lot easier. But the lack of like AoE magic early on really slowed me down.
You dipped into temple there, and you found the white shirt. That's not something that Wote actually found during his run. And you were able to use that effectively throughout the run. I think that gave you a good advantage early.
Yeah, Caleb, I was going to say, I sent a lot of enemies to the 4th dimension this seed.
Yeah, I think I was wearing chain or silver mail when I took on chaos. Like, I'd never found good armor, and I didn't want to go.
Okay, so there was steel armor in Gaia, and I noted this, and that was the last time I thought about it for the rest of the siege.
Did you find Massa or Vorpal or any of the big in-game swords?
Oh no, I had a Sun Sword, Excal, and Katana in my inventory when I got to Chaos.
Okay, so it sounds like we checked the same chests at least.
Yeah, it sounds like apparently we were neck and neck pretty much through to the end.
Yeah, Wote had a 2-orb lead at one point in the race, and Caleb was catching up. Tell us about that wipe you took in Sky, Caleb. That was pretty costly.
Yeah, that was when I realized that I should probably play a little more conservatively sometimes. I figured I was in the area, I had everything I needed to do. I was banking on early exit and soft enemies in Sky, and I had a decent run through Lower Mirage. The unrunnable Blue Dragon kind of slowed me down. And I was like, well, push comes to shove, I can always exit out, save it, and just leave and come back. And I never got the chance to do that once my White Wizard was taken out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the B in B Dragon, this seed, stood for Bara, because that dragon was beefy. But, yeah, no, I actually also took a wipe in Sky. I didn't realize you had two.
Yeah, I dipped Sky super early. I dipped Sky before I even went into Ice Cave.
I mean, I did the same thing. Now, like, I legitimately do not intend to take fights in these seeds outside of Ordeals and Sky. Like, everything else is just, if I can run from it, otherwise, like, I'll occasionally fight it if there's, like, mummies or something. So, like, I generally am also pretty low level when I get to Sky, because Sky's where I'm going to get a lot of levels.
That's what I was banking on too, and it just didn't happen for me this race. But it was still a lot of fun to run. The nerves were there early on, but they faded pretty quick once I got going. I didn't reset out a Garland this time, so that was, try to find the little takeaways there.
There were many takeaways. You impressed all of us with your runs tonight and your routing. You have nothing to be ashamed of. I would be terrified to face you in the 0-2 bracket.
Yeah, you are probably going to, you're very likely to be 1-2 after next week, Caleb. And I'm probably likely to be 1-2 next week as well. Yay! We can't face each other again. Yay!
Caleb, I did get a chance to stop by your podcast, Rafe Hates Caleb, and listen to some of your discussions with Wote. We got the story of Wote's White Mage and the name behind it that he forced on you. What was the story of your character that you asked Wote to force on himself for this evening's race?
Yeah, so Rockle is my brother. This obviously is not his real name, but that's the handle he goes by. He's big into Final Fantasy 14 and the communities there, and he actually introduced me to randomizers about 2 years ago with the Link to the Past randomizer. I think it was like in version 7, and then like a few months later in Discord he shared with me like the Final Fantasy randomizer, and that's when I just started watching the VODs, and I figure what better way to kind of try to draw him into this community so he can participate maybe in the next tournament than to put him on blast and just put him in Wote's party and have him feed me intel, but I didn't get any intel from him, so he kind of the White Mage spy backfired.
I mean, he kind of just helped out a lot. Oh, hey, look, there happens to be some dude named Rockle in chat.
Nice. I am not. I should probably get on chat so I can see the people. Hey, buddy.
So, just a brief question for you, Caleb. What are your impressions of the Final Fantasy randomizer community since you have joined us?
No, I love it. I mean, I can't express enough. I know. I did a lot of this last week in the post game with Will, and then on the podcast with Will, and on the podcast with Wote. Just the overwhelming support and patience, and not just in interacting with me, but like I think yesterday I was watching the Sawney Wrath and Melee Wizard, and there was a new player in there named Roger, and he was asking all kinds of questions, and nobody was like dismissing him. They just like give him the information, and I think it was Uzar that gave him the link to the Discord, and then like the new player help, and just seeing all. It was like for me it was like the definition of community, and it was really cool, and I got a kick out of it, and I think it exemplifies the kind of people that are in this community, and I'm more mad at myself that it took me this long to get involved with you all, because I feel like I could have been enjoying this even longer now.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you, and we're very pleased that you're enjoying your experience with us. We're going to move on to some final thoughts here. If you would like to give us some of your final thoughts, Caleb, before we proceed.
My final thoughts. I mean, it was a pleasure racing against you. It was a pleasure talking to you yesterday. Stupid echo. I'm still learning how to do everything. It was a pleasure again having you on the podcast, Wote, and whoever I play in the 0-2 brackets. I'm looking forward to making you suffer through Hulk Hogan's McKinsey Island with Rafe and I as we watch that movie, and talk about our upcoming match. And if whoever I'm matched up against isn't game for that, I'm sure somebody from the community will be down to watch a terrible movie, if not Wote.
Yeah, I was going to say, you already know who in the community is down to watch a terrible movie.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Final thoughts.
I mean, I think that I'm finally able to start breathing comfortably again, so that's an A+. Also, I'm assuming that Falconics and Crab Cakes are still going?
I believe so. I'll be
Excellent,
checking out
because
that race shortly.
yeah, I'm about to jump over to that. But, just lastly, shoutouts to my ladies, Cinchilla and Twill. Love y'all both. And yes,
so
there were
much.
finger guns coming out of me.
Hyro.
Oh, I'd just like to thank Caleb for joining and enjoying his time here, and Wote for coming back and joining us for his first ever tournament, oddly enough, which is interesting for as long as he'd been a part of the community. I'd like to thank the Speed Gaming Networks for hosting all these races. We've got 3 other races going on right now, and I'd like to thank Pizza for tracking, and Czar, thanks for jumping in at the last minute to run the commentary with me, and we'll get these guys on our way to that Falconic and Crab Cakes match that everybody's so hyped about for tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Hyro. I just want to thank all our viewers this evening for coming out. Speed Gaming, Kirito for our restream, and Turton as well, who are busy across the board working with Final Fantasy Randomizer this evening. We're going to send you over those other races. Again, we have races currently on Speed Gaming 3, Speed Gaming 5, and Speed Gaming 1. So be sure to check those out. We've got a lot more action. This is only week 2 of the tournament, and it's been overwhelming so far. Not only the support, but just the overall enjoyment and entertainment that we're able to bring everybody. So thank you all so much for watching. We're going to get you those other matches, and we'll see you again soon.